Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a very good morning. Welcome to my video. So, a very good morning. Today, I would like to talk about termination of construction contract based on Malaysia Standard Form, which is CIDB 2000, PWD 203A, and PAM contract 2018, including quantity. So I would like to present. So as a quantity surveyor, I would like to present based on this topic. So firstly, termination of construction contract refer to the legal right of either the employer or the contract to end the contract before the completion due to the certain reason stated in the contract. Termination is a very serious action because it must strictly follow the contract clauses to avoid legal consequences. It's all about safety. Starting with CIDB 2000, the relevant clauses is 46, which is covered termination. Under this clause, the employer has the right to terminate the contract by giving notice. Usually within 30 days, termination may occur due to contractor default, such as delay, failure to carry out work, which is fail to complete the project, the duration, so or any insolvency. CIDB also allow termination for convenience, which means the employer can terminate even without contractor fault. So next, I would like to talk about PWD 203A. So based on this form of contract, it will be covered under clause 51, which is related to termination. So under fifth clause 51, allow termination due to the contract fault, such as failure proceed regularly and illegally. So based on clause 52, allow termination in the interest of national security or public policy. And for the clause 53, allow the termination cases involving corruption. These clauses shows that the government has a wider power to terminate the contract compared to the private sector contract, which is such as any project private sector than the government. So moving on to the last statement that I would like to talk, which is PAM 2018, is termination also will be covered under clause 25 and 26. So based on clause 25, under the employer to terminate contractor if there is a breach such as delay or poor performance, which is performance stands for, it is also same information based on form that I already shared, which is fail to complete the project. Under clause 26, allow the contract to terminate terminate the contract if the employer fails to make the payment or breach the contract. So this form is more balanced as it protects both parties, which is client and contractor. So I would like to talk about the situation in Malaysia about this topic, which is termination contract. So in the Malaysia construction industry, there's a very common issue can lead to termination. One of major issues is delay in the project completion, where the contractor fail to proceed with the work illegally. Another common use is non-payment by the employer, which is the employer didn't pay any cost to the contractor, so which may lead the contractor to terminate the contract, which is the project it will be ended. So in the government project, Termination may also happen due to the national interest or policy change. Additionally, unforeseen event such as economic crisis, which is economic growth, or pandemic may also affect contract performance because because when the pandemics happen, all the project that we supposed to proceed or and ongoing, they have no choice. They have to stop for a certain month. So there are also legal case in Asia that I would like to speak it. In one recent case involving a government project in Perlis, the contractor failed to complete the project within the required time, and the government terminated this contract. The court held that the termination was valid because the contractor failed to perform to work diligently. This shows that delay is strong ground for termination. In another case, that I would like to talk about is Qingyik development versus Setapak development. In this case, the court decided that not every breach allow termination. Only fundamental breach, which is breach of contract, which is a serious breach affecting the whole contract, which will justify termination. Minor breach are not sufficient to terminate a contract. So to conclude this topic, which is termination contract, termination of construction contract must be carried out carefully and strictly in accordance with the contract clauses, whether under CIDB 2000, PAM 2018 and PWD 203A. Failure to follow proper procedure may result in legal consequences. Therefore, as a future custodian, which is me, it is important for us to understand this clause to protect the interests of both employer and the contractor. So that's the end of this topic, and thank you for watching my video, and I would like to say goodbye. Thank you and goodbye. Selamat Hari Raya. Maaf Zahir dan Batin. Terima kasih.